Into the Tamil text Thirukolur Penpillai Rahasyam, and we are looking into the 18th sentence. It runs like this: Andarangam sonneno Thirusadayai pole. After listening to the story about Thirusadai, everybody will feel that we must have one person like her in our life. To get that kind of an idea, what she has done, we will see now. She is a character in Ramayana, and she stays with Sita when Sita was kidnapped and kept in a forest. As everybody knows, Ravana had kidnapped Sita and kept her in captivity. Only Rakshasis were surrounding her, and Tirsadai was also a Rakshasi only. But what she did, how she behaved with Sita, this is what we are going to see. Actually, who are Rakshasis? Rakshasa and Rakshasi, their quality is they will feel very happy if somebody is in pain. This is just opposite to the qualities of divine people, Mahans. They will dedicate their lives for the welfare of people, and Rakshasas and Rakshasis have exactly the opposite quality. But this particular story about Tirisadai shows that though she was a Rakshasi, she showed exemplary qualities which helped Sita in the time when she was in the forest. Tirisadai was the daughter of Vibhishanan, and Vibhishana was Ravana's brother. Whenever Sita would go into depression, Tirisadai will come and tell her, everything has not come to an end. We will try to get good things, good end. This is how her attitude will be. In modern terminology, we'll say positivity. Once what happened, the other Rakshasis were chasing a lizard, big lizard. We call in Tamil as Udumbu. They were chasing it and they wanted to catch it and eat it, cook and eat it, because they are Rakshasas. They are Rakshasis. But Tirsadai chased that lizard and she removed it from their sight so that it's not killed. Tirsadai saw that lizard running towards his children and she felt miserable in case it was killed. How the kids would have missed their mother. So that was the kind of compassion she had. Things were going on in the forest. All the time the Rakshasis will surround Sita and their only job is to ask her why she is not willing to accept Ravana. And in between, Ravana also will come and he will tell that he is a very great king and he has got all comforts. Sita will give fitting replies to him. She will say she is no less than a queen. She has come from a kingdom. So many such conversations happen between Sita and Ravana. Here, the important lesson, as I always see in every sentence of Thirukolur Penpillai, is that in spite of external pressures and influences, how a person can retain their mental stability. We often see in our lives parents blaming the company of their children. If there are boys, they will say boys are in bad company. They have started smoking and drinking because of the bad company. They'll say my son or daughter never got into drugs, but because of the company. This is how, because of the bad company, we always put the blame on the company. But Sita's life is a role model for us in spite of terrible consequences. In fact, if she had not agreed, I don't know what would have happened to her. But at that time, there is a blessing. in disguise waiting for Sita. It was Tirsadai who comes and tells Sita, Ravana cannot touch anybody without the consent of that person. If he touches that person, his head will break. In fact, it is very interesting if we look into some of the details of our Puranas. If a woman is touched without her consent, sometimes they have even given curse. Many stories have been written and recorded also. Not only in Purana, even in the kings' lives, many instances have happened like this in our country. I am not going into details, I am just confining myself to this one sentence where Tirsadai is going to be of great help to Sita. As things were going in the negative direction, there was no sign of Rama and Lakshmana. Sita was feeling very sad, and she said, why should she live in this kind of a situation where all the time Rakshasis and Ravana were continuously forcing her to some act for which she was not ready. At that time, Trisadai will come and tell Sita she had lots of indications. That is, we say omen. That is, bad omen for Ravana and good omen for Rama and Lakshmana and Sita. In fact, there is a description about every little information as to what kinds of omen they were, but I am not going to the details. She consoles her every time when Sita feels miserable. Later on, the war started, and Indrajit, that is Ravana's son, he used a very strong weapon, and because of that, Rama and Lakshmana were unconscious. The news spread that they were almost killed in the war, and this news reaches Sita. At that time, immediately Trisadai comes and tells Sita, Rama and Lakshmana cannot be killed. That is a kind of positive confidence she is instilling in her. And a transport, that is to carry Sita from the existing place, one flight was arranged for Sita to see the battlefield. She was heavy in her heart because what she was going to see was something which she won't be able to take. She had almost decided to give up her life. Tirsadai comes and tells her, this flight which is going to carry you from this place to the battlefield, first of all, Sita should remember that it will never take a widow in its as a passenger. That gave her a lot of confidence. When she went and saw Rama and Lakshmana, it was just that for a period of time they were unconscious, that's all. They were not killed. So the entire story ends with a positive note. As everybody knows, Sri Rama, Lakshmana and Sita returned, and Ravana is killed in the battle. And the role which Trisadai has played continuously to console her, to give her the confidence to face situations. So that's why in the beginning of the story itself, I said, Thirukolur, Penpillai, every sentence has got some meaning, and then what we can adopt in our lives. And then the story ends like this. Thirukolur Penpillai is going to say, I never did a few acts like Tirsadai, hence I am leaving this place.